What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KFP Casting Call. I want to say thank you for listening. If you just stumbled across us on the interwebs, check us out at the KF Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat. And please check us out on SoundCloud at the KF Podcast, where we have fresh weekly content where we talk about up-and-coming nerd culture stuff. So today we are doing a little bit of fantasy casting for the MCU now with the Uncanny X-Men universe. So we got Don here in the studio.
Hello.
And then via satellite we've got Justin.
Yo.
And Brock.
Good evening.
On satellite delay,
Yeah.
we have the Wonder Twins.
So how we're going to do it is I'm going to kind of call out each of you guys. You're going to give me who you would cast for these. We got about almost 10 different characters what we'd like to see in the Uncanny X-Men universe.
And I think some people have already done this, but I didn't really look up who. There's a bunch of bad casting out online.
I always feel like they go too old with this.
They do. They go old and they go sort of all over the place, you know.
Yeah. So, and we're kind of just doing some classic characters. You're not going to see us cast Phantom X in this. We're just going to do.
No, we are sticking with what, and I'll be honest, I chose these because no one responded to my email. But I went with Professor X. I want Professor X. Then we did the original 5, Cyclops, Jean, Beast, Iceman, Angel. And then I threw in there Storm and Wolverine and Magneto as a villain. If we wanted to throw any ones in there in the end, if anyone did any, we can. But we went with those. So that's who you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so we'll go from that.
Cool. I did not pick any because I am lazy and didn't look this up. So I'm just going to choose who I think is the best person for each of these casts.
Before we start, do you want my like last week I gave you the explanation of why I picked the way I did. Do you think I should do it before or after?
I mean, that's up to you.
Okay, so picking this lineup, the way I casted mine, and each Brock, you or Justin can maybe set the tone of this as first too if you want after I go. I'm a big fan of the cartoon X-Men Evolution.
Is that where they're all in high school?
They are, yeah. I didn't go for the high school route, but the way I would build my X-Men world is Professor X, I have him like sort of 40, 45 years old range that way, like younger. Mm-hmm. And then I went with Storm, Beast, and Wolverine being like older, like in their like mid-30s to late 30s. They're almost like Xavier's age.
Storm, Beast, and Wolverine.
Storm, Beast, and Wolverine, because in Evolution, like Beast was like him and Xavier were like partners. Like they were like almost the same age and mentality level, and they studied mutants together. Wolverine was sort of like the wild card, but Wolverine and Storm were more like the mentors. Okay. And then I went with people in their like mid-20s, like 20 to 25 range for Cyclops, Jean, Beast. Or Cyclops, Jean, Iceman, and Angel as being like the younger. I didn't go with the kid rod. I didn't want high school teen angst stuff. Yeah. But I went with like that sort of age level of like they're the newbies. They're the new kids on the block. Wolverine is sort of established there. Storm is a mentor as well too. And Cyclops and them being like the younger, hipper like X-Men instead of being like the old mentor one. That's where I went. Justin, how did you go about?
So I kind of went with a little bit of an older cast, I guess. I went with Professor X and Magneto being a little bit older, and then the rest of the cast all about the same age, late 20s to early 30s.
Okay. Brock?
That's pretty much what I did as well. My Wolverine's a little bit older than the others. Okay. It's still like late 30s, but not old.
Okay. Makes sense.
My problem with coming up with this is I'm struggling how Marvel's going to integrate this into the existing universe. And so that's why I kind of went with a generic age. Everybody's just kind of in their, like I said, their late 20s, early 30s. Yeah. Because I'm struggling to figure out how they're going to integrate this into the universe. So I just wanted to kind of do I think
it's easy. You just say one of the Infinity Stones ignites a mutant gene and people just start waking up one day with mutant powers. I don't think you have to go the whole route that they have to be puberty to hit mutant thing, but if you had a dormant mutant gene that's ignited by an Infinity Stone, your mutant power kicks off. You may be 25 years old and you just wake up and you have ice powers,
So what about Wolverine? Is he going to be a normal age and all of a sudden he's like now,
I think you could do something different with maybe some of these people. The mutant gene, like Xavier was still a mutant this entire time. Like his didn't go away. something happened. Now the rest of them are coming online type of. Like, and maybe Logan's one of those ones. There's other mutants, Sinister, Magneto. They had it all along. They were just sort of in hiding or something. But the rest of them, something triggers them that the rest of them start going on. Now it becomes a problem that like Xavier being one of the only mutants on Earth has to start like getting involved and training them and gathering them.
They kind of assume that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are mutants in Avengers Age of Ultron, correct?
Yeah, they called them miracles.
Yes.
Originally is what like I think Von Strucker called them, and that one, and Captain America
Yeah.
too, whatever. At the end, he was like it's the age of miracles because they couldn't say mutants.
Yeah.
So we kind of established that maybe they got their powers from the Tesseract or something of that nature. So it's from the Infinity Stones.
Well, they could say Magneto got his powers because of he could been with Hydra at the time, being captured.
Yeah,
Since they were Nazi
Red Skull experimented on him or something like that. So yeah, there's a possibility. There's a lot of ways to do it, but I don't know. We'll see. I hope they do something of that nature, but let's go into the cast.
All right, so we're going to start off with the guy, Professor X.
Okay.
Brock, why don't you go first and tell us who you picked?
I chose this person based on looks alone, and it was Moby.
You don't need a picture of Moby. You know.
I know who Moby. Yeah.
Okay.
Figure he's about the right age. He's probably late 50s now.
Wow. Okay.
Bald.
Bald.
All right.
All right,
like it.
Justin, who is your pick?
So I was kind of cheesy with this one. I like James McAvoy, the current Professor X. I know he's a little bit younger for the rest of the cast I picked, but I just like how he's portrayed the character so far.
And I agree with you, and I kept the same one also. I really enjoy James McAvoy as Professor X and would love for him to stay and come over.
Okay.
He's the right age group for my universe, being 40 that he is now. He's perfect. And I think he portrays the character really well. His accent, everything is perfect. He looks good with the bald head. I wish they keep him. He's he's one of the people I would keep. So me and the Cheese agree.
Eerie.
Yeah.
All right.
We agree on something.
All right, so we're going to go down to the leader of the original X-Men. We got Cyclops.
Okay.
Justin, why don't you go ahead and go first?
For Cyclops, I chose Armie Hammer, who played the Winklevoss twins in the Facebook movie.
He played them both?
Arm and Hammer
they
played
just
him.
used it. Yeah, they just used him to play both characters.
Now, how old is Armie Hammer?
I believe he is in his mid-30s.
Okay.
32.
Oh.
All right. Armie Hammer.
So early 30s.
They've tried. He was the
than
Lone Ranger, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the Lone Ranger.
They've been pushing this guy for Batman for years too.
To me, he's that guy that never I never would recognize him as anything. It's like,
he's tall too.
Oh,
Yeah, and that was kind of the reason I looked at him, because when I went and looked at the comics, Cyclops was always not big muscularly, but he was always a big character. Like he was taller than a lot of people, and I just thought he looked like he would fit the part.
Okay.
Scott was always lanky. They always called him Slim.
Yeah, they call him Slim. Yeah.
All right.
Me?
Dawn? Yeah. I'm trying to remember who I did already.
So I had this guy named Douglas Booth,
I had no idea who that is.
and this is him on the screen. Oh, you guys are looking him up. I went with him. He is 26 years old, so he sort of fits my agenda of the route I'm going with. Xavier's older than him, wiser. He's got that scruffy kind of slim look to him that I thought the hair with the visor would work. So, I don't know. I thought he was looking him up, and he kind of gave me sort of what I was looking for in a Cyclops guy with the slimness to him. Not very muscular, but, he's got the look. You guys, what do you two think? Did you check him out?
Yeah, this guy's not bad.
All right.
Was he in anything else?
I really don't know.
Fair enough. All right.
There you go.
Brock, what do you got?
I chose Theo James from the Divergent series. He's got the leader type look to him almost.
Let me find him here for you, Ken.
Okay, yeah. I know this guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I
He's
like
tall,
him.
thinner guy, too.
He's not bad.
Yeah. not bad.
So Ken, we forgot to do this in the first round. Who was your pick for Xavier?
Well, it's not Moby, so it's James,
All right.
whoever that guy is.
So who is your Cyclops pick then?
I like the guy from Divergence, that guy.
Okay.
Brock's pick.
Theo James.
Theo James.
How old is he, Brock?
He is 33 years old.
All right, he's a little older.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, so let's go to...
He looks young, though. You could pull off him
Yeah.
being younger.
Also, too, he's
Yeah,
been...
he's a teenager in the Divergent movie.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the fiery redhead of the original X-Men. We got Jean Grey. Let's go... Dawn, why don't you go first?
So I went with a non-redhead.
No, okay, that sounds great.
I went with this chick, Shailene Woodley.
What's she been in? The Fault of Our Stars?
Yeah, she was in The
Okay.
Fault of Our Stars. There was a picture of her with like red hair and like she's 25. So again, she fit in where I was looking for.
Yeah.
And I thought she had like a very cute, innocent look to her that she could be sort of like the younger, like naive girl that has
Yeah.
this real big superpower. But I was going with the Jean that's like very, kind of like sweet and young looking. Where
Timid.
She's timid.
Maybe
not,
she doesn't use all her powers.
yeah, and she's just like shy and like kind of like that role, but like if she lets go, where this girl's acting in that movie Fault of Our Stars,
Yeah.
she got really like passionate. Like I could see her being in that role, so I liked her in that movie. I think she's a good actress too.
All right. Brock, who do you got?
I have Catherine McNamara from Shadowhunters and Maze Runner.
I don't know her.
Okay,
Brock or
coming on the
Dawn?
screen here in a second as it loads. This girl,
Okay.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know her.
how old is she?
12.
She is 23.
Okay,
Close enough.
lot younger than Cyclops, huh?
Well,
Oh.
She's not bad.
no.
But he looks
Who do you have? Or, I'm sorry, Ken.
Justin, who do you got?
So again, sticking with the 30-year area, I went with Evan Rachel Wood, who plays Dolores on Westwood. In Westwood, she's a blonde, but I think she's a natural redhead.
How do you know that?
So there's
This is one.
At any
pick.
rate, there are pictures. There are pictures of her with red hair.
I think I've seen her before.
I don't really like her, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't like her in Westwood.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never been a big fan of hers.
That picture looks a little older than I'd like my Jean Grey. Yeah, she's not bad. I don't know. I just don't. Yeah.
All right, so Ken, make the call. Who's Jean Grey?
I like the chick from The Fault of Our Stars. I'm going with Dawn's pick.
All right.
So I'm going to say this, though, before we get too far. Jean Grey in the Marvel Universe should not be Phoenix or have a Dark Phoenix saga.
No.
That should be their Infinity Gauntlet. Everyone's got to fight Jean Grey as the Phoenix.
At one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they kind of conclude all that story, not just one offshoot movie where they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
All right. So next up is Beast. Now, are we doing, when you guys cast, do you envision a blue hairy Beast, or are you doing non-blue Beast, and maybe later on he gets his powers?
Me, I was envisioning CGI Beast with
Okay.
it'd be the actor's voice,
Okay.
and then you would see him in some flashbacks, or if he has like an image inducer or whatever those things were called that they used to use.
Booze, the image inducer.
Whatever those things were.
Yeah. So let's go, Brock. Who do you got first?
I saw this guy listed in a bunch of cast listings for Wolverine, but I thought he was too big to be Wolverine, so I chose him for Beast, and I went with Scott Eastwood.
Scott Eastwood? Okay.
Do you need a picture of him, or do you know?
No, I know who he is. He's a tall dude. He's a big guy.
What's his height?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like he's taller, or maybe I'm getting him mixed up with one of Thor's brothers, but
Yeah, Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott Eastwood.
6
All
foot.
right.
He's very tall, probably around 6 foot. I envision
Oh, God.
a human beast, a human form beast,
Okay,
later on becoming blue.
that was scary.
Yeah. All right, Justin, who do you see for your Beast?
So I had this guy Barrett Foa. He's from NCI Los Angeles.
This guy.
Okay.
And I don't know. He's kind of nerdy looking. He wears glasses, but so he could work good for the scientist human type beast. And then later on, it's going to be CGI beast anyway. So
Yeah.
All right, I'm all right with that.
and he's older. He's older too. He's 40. So he fits in with McAvoy's age range.
Okay. Dawn, who do you got?
I got Jeremy Irons' son, Max Irons.
I thought you were going to say just Jeremy Irons. Well, how old is he?
He's 32, so he fits in with my thing of being an older established member that was already there, or someone that was working with him, an older scientist, professor, where he's older than these 20-year-old kids,
What is he acting in anything else?
I've seen him in stuff. I can't remember like a major movie he's been in. I like the sound of his voice because his voice is really deep. You know how good of a voice Jeremy Irons has?
Yeah.
He has the same kind of very deep voice sounding.
Interesting.
And he's a pretty good actor, so I thought he would pull off Hank McCoy pretty well.
Okay. Well, I think after all that, I'm going to choose Justin's NCIS guy for.
You like the nerdy look?
I like the nerdy look. I think he's also
Good.
All right. So next on the list we got
Iceman.
Yeah, Iceman's next.
Okay.
So let's go, Justin. Who do you got for Iceman?
For Iceman, I had Dylan O'Brien, who leads the Maze Runner series.
Conan O'Brien.
This kid.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's the Maze Runner kid.
Yeah. He's got a weird look on his face in that picture, but
it's a bad photo, but yeah.
All right, Brock, who do you got for Iceman?
You're gonna laugh at this one, but I think it's perfect because if they wanted to go the gay route, they could. Justin Bieber.
The gay route.
I actually thought about this. Not kidding. I actually thought about that.
Wow. Wow.
The gay route. I love it.
All right, Dawn, what do you got?
I have this kid. His name is Logan Lerman.
Logan Lerman.
He's been in some movies before. He has that sort of young, dorky, skinny thing.
Him and that other guy look exactly the Maze Runner kid.
They do, but he's a little smaller than him.
Okay.
So he's the shortest member of my cast.
Okay.
Like smaller Iceman is usually the smaller one like that.
Yeah.
And he has that dorkiness to them, so I thought old Logan Lerman there would have been good. Some of these characters' names, like these actors' names, I know them from TV shows that are movies, like The Maze Runner.
Yeah.
Then you look up their name, and I'm like, that's that kid's name, Logan Lerman? That's a dorky name.
So I'm torn because I know I don't want Justin Bieber to be Iceman, Brock. Sorry.
Okay.
But both your guys look exactly the same, so I'm going to just say it's a tie. Whoever I can get at the time, I will take either the Maze Runner kid or Lappy Lerman.
You have to pick one so I can put an image up.
All right, let's Maze Runner.
So background information.
We don't need it. We'll move on. He's going with your guy. Moving on to the next guy.
All right, so next we got Angel. What is it? Warren Worthington III.
Yep.
Spit
it out.
Dawn, go ahead and you go first.
I am bringing the next Hemsworth brother into my universe and going with Liam Hemsworth on this.
Solid. He's tall.
6'2", good looking, blonde. I mean, this is like what Angel looks like to me. He's taller than most of the other guys. He's usually out of the five, he was the tallest. And like, Justin wrote down one. You'll see what he wrote down, but like, this is what I think they're looking for in that type of character.
Okay. Well, now I'm intrigued. Justin, Who did you pick?
I literally said, insert generic blonde, ripped male model type here.
Yep.
All right, so we're back to Liam Hemsworth. All right, Brock, who did you cast for Angel?
I chose Colton Haynes. He played Roy Harper on Arrow, and he was also in Teen Wolf.
He's short. He's speedy.
I found a blonde picture of him.
Yeah.
Wow, he's really tan in that picture.
Yeah. He's Arsenal or whatever on Arrow.
On the CW?
He's smaller than Arrow on that show. He's a pretty little guy. He's a good actor. He's good.
Interesting. I'm going to go with Liam Hemsworth.
We got two Hemsworth brothers in the Marvel Universe. We're cooking with gas.
I'm sure there'll be some crossover and they'll high-five each other or something stupid. All right, so Brock, let's go first with you for Storm.
I chose Cat Graham.
Cat Graham.
Kat Graham is, I think she's a singer.
Oh.
I like her.
Calm down,
She was
Justin.
in.
Calm down, Justin.
I
I like her. I like her.
She was also in. She was in the Vampire Diaries. She was. She played the witch in the Vampire Diaries.
All right.
She's a good actress.
All right. Who's next?
All right, Justin. Who do you got?
Oh yeah, Justin.
That was Brock.
Yeah. Okay.
Who do you got, Justin?
I had Nathalie Emmanuel, who is Missandra from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's good.
Yeah.
I like that pick. I like she's really good in that movie, and she's really good looking.
Yeah.
Calm down, dog.
Calm down. All right, Dawn. Who do you have?
You're gonna laugh at mine, but I am going with Beyonce.
Okay, calm down. Photoshop on your phone.
That's not Photoshop. She dressed as Storm for Halloween 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
She actually dressed as Storm twice in a concert that she did on Halloween.
Oh,
like
wow.
if you look her up, she's in that outfit. I think she has like the look for it. I think she has the personality for it of like a older, mature, strong, powerful woman. I mean, she's the queen. It's Beyonce. You know what I mean? So I like her in that role. I think she would do really well in that role.
I don't want Storm to be an elder statesman of the X-Men, so
Okay.
I'm going with Brock's pick. I like her as Storm.
Who, Cat Grant?
Yeah.
Cat
Grant.
Grant. Cat Graham. Okay.
If you think I'm going to remember any of these people's names, you are
Cat Grant's like a reporter for the Daily Planet or something. Cat Graham. Okay, good.
All right, so next we have the most important casting of them all,
The Wolverine.
the bub Wolverine. So let's go Dawn first.
Well, seeing as how Brock brought this guy up before and spoiled it almost for me, I think Scott Eastwood is Wolverine.
How tall is he?
He is 6 foot,
Nope.
but it doesn't bother me because that doesn't matter in a movie when you can do camera angles and that. You won't even be able to tell. He has such a good Wolverine look to him, and he's 33, which he can play this character for a while, and I just think he really looks like him. I think his facial expressions, his hair, he's a great actor too. I really like Scott Eastwood. I think he would pull it off. I think you have to get past the whole height thing because it's hard to find short guys that are going to be really good actors. And
Tom Cruise.
All right.
Brock, who do you got for El Wolverino?
Wait for this one.
El Wolverine.
I love this one. Wrestling superstar Austin Aries.
That's hilarious.
That face.
Got great mutton chops. He's built. He's perfect.
He can't act.
He can't. Poor
He
Austin.
talks while wrestling.
He's too tall.
No,
He's
short.
5'8".
He is.
All right, Justin, who do you got for Wolverine? Wolverine.
So, based on height alone, no, not height alone, but I chose Scott Conn from Hawaii Five-0. He's only 5'5".
He's terrible.
Can I not vote for any of these? I think they're all bad.
Scott Eastwood is the guy. No, you have to pick one of these guys.
All right, I'm going to pick Danny DeVito. Or
right.
Austin Aries. No.
Look at him.
I guess I'll have to go with Clint Eastwood, son. But I'm not doing it because I only have 3 options.
Well, then you pick a guy. Who do you like?
I don't know. I don't want Wolverine to be a famous dude that people know already.
Scott Eastwood is not a famous guy. His dad is famous, but he's not a famous actor.
He's been in a lot of movies.
Nah, he's not a household name.
You're not a household.
I'm not. I'm definitely not a household name. What was that over there? Mumble Squad?
Mumble Squad.
You know who hasn't been in a lot of movies? Austin Aries.
You know who'll never be in a major movie? Austin Aries. He couldn't handle the WWE. He won't be able to handle Hollywood. He's not Batista.
I say we flip this casting totally on its head. Kevin Hart for Wolverine.
Yeah,
Done.
there you go. Done.
Austin Aries was in The Wrestler.
What if we cast it's Wolverine is the what is it? The chick, his daughter.
Nope.
X-23.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right.
How about we just pick Hugh Jackman?
All right, we'll go with Huge Jackman. He can be in it again.
All right. Who do we got for Magneto? Justin, we'll let you go first for this last one.
Me and Justin are the same on this one again, aren't we? Who'd you pick?
Yep. I really like Michael Fassbender.
And I stuck
as,
with him too. I like him too much as Magneto. He's too good. Him and the chemistry with him and McAvoy, that needs to stay.
All right, you two are losers.
We're losers. I like Michael Fassbender. I think he's a great Magneto.
Here's the thing: you picked this so we could fantasy cast these things, and you were like, "Oh, it's all not real. We can do all this," and then you're picking the same guy.
I like him. It's fantasy casting, but it's who would you like to see in the Marvel universe? That's who I would like to see.
That's what I said.
Hey, at least I did it and didn't come up with nobody.
Poor Justin has to edit out the F word.
Sorry. All right, get the Brock's pick. His is different. You might like it.
All right, Brock, what's your pick for Magneto?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
My left foot.
Oh man,
Jewish.
Jewish. Brock's picks were, this guy's gay, he's Jewish.
He picked Iceman not
Jewish.
because he was gay, just because he was Justin Bieber.
The Beebs.
Hilarious.
So, Ken,
I guess I'll have to do Fastbender, not a slow molder. Fastbender.
there you go. Does anybody have any other casting picks they would throw in there?
So I did have another one. I put Nightcrawler in there, and I went kind of baby X-Men with Nightcrawler, and I cast Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things.
Who's Finn Wolfhard?
Not Will. Will's best buddy.
What did he just say?
His best barbecue?
Will's who?
Will's barber.
It's Mike.
Mike, thank you, Brock.
Oh, Mike. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a terrible. He's way too young. Nightcrawler. I went the baby route, is what he said.
Yeah.
I cast that baby from the Pampers commercial as Nightcrawler. So, real quick, who would you want to see Ken as a villain in the first X-Men movie? Do you go straight Magneto, or who do you like?
No, because I feel like you need to. I would like to have the relationship. Here's the thing: what sucks is I would like to have a lot of what they did in X-Men First Class, because I think that was the best one that they did.
Yeah.
Where you actually see Professor X and Magneto together and show them go the different routes. I actually would kind of maybe even base it on that kind of scenario, not do another origin. Maybe have Magneto establishes Magneto, Professor X establishes him, and sometimes they would meet up to talk about issues, but then they would go their separate ways if they need to fight. I don't know who I'd have as a villain, because I don't know who's big enough to bring them in, but I definitely would have Sentinels involved.
I would go Sentinels.
But you have to have something bad happen for the government to make Sentinels, and I feel like the villain in the first one would set up a good Sentinel movie for the second one.
I think you could just take the Brotherhood without Magneto. That maybe Magneto sponsored them in the background. And you do Mystique, Blob, Pyro, Avalanche, that kind of crew, because that was always a good crew for them to fight with.
Oh, yeah.
Blob was a good character to go against, and
nothing stops the Blob.
and then Sentinels show up and start attacking everybody.
Does Deadpool show up in this movie?
Deadpool's going to show up in every movie from now on, because he's going to be your new Stan Lee.
Does Colossus from the Deadpool movie show up in this movie?
It'd be nice. It'd be good.
All right. Good talk.
I wouldn't mind if the X Mansion had other characters there and they're just not in the movie. Like, I would like to see them around, and you would go, okay, but they're just not going to be involved in this mission.
You say that now, but I know you'd be the first person to be like, why didn't you call the rest of the people in the mansion to come help you do whatever you need to do?
Well, I would say that, yeah, because I say that in the comic books when they're running into trouble and they're like, you got all those other guys over there. Like, where's he been this entire time?
Yeah, I know you. So, no, they can't have anyone else in the mansion.
All right. Well, there you go. Screw me, then. What do I know? All right. These two are frozen on the screen. So that's probably a wrap. Let's take it home.
All right, everyone. Please check us out on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at the KF Podcast. Then also please check us out on SoundCloud, where we have fresh weekly stuff. Please like, share, subscribe, invite, tell your friends, and kiss your mother in the mouth for me.
Do it.
Good night.
Bye.
Soft whisper.